Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday to everybody out here today. We know the day is full of adventures, games, all that. And I'm talking about the NCAA college football games, baby. We know that they get started around about 11 o'clock. We know that we have some important games today. We got Duke versus Notre Dame. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to everybody in the world. I am Mike D, aka DDE80, aka 131 of the world, aka Mr. Hennessy, baby. And I'm back. Shout out to my boy, to my little homeboy, Mason Brown. We're here just to talk about college football. And shout out to my little brother Josh that's over here on the side of me chilling. Ladies and gentlemen, today is college football day. Like I said, Duke versus Notre Dame. That's going to be an interesting game. LSU versus Ole Miss. And USC versus Colorado. Those are going to be some of the games I'm going to highlight today. And I want to see who's going to do what. I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, that USC is going to beat Colorado. I don't think they're going to beat them by 20 points like people are saying. I think that they will put up a fight. I think that they will play better than they played last week, and I'm talking about Colorado. And I just want to see what happens with them today. You know, I want to see, can Prime get his boys back into the competing mode, because they didn't compete last week against Oregon. Oregon just straight up just stomped them, you know. So I want to see what happens with them today. I think LSU and Ole Miss are going to be in a fight, but I think LSU will be the one to come out and win, because Kiffin has those boys ready. Kiffin will have those boys ready to play against LSU. And the 1-2 punch of Daniels and Neighbors is going to be the problem for Ole Miss. I think that today LSU will win another game. I think they will go to 3-1, 4-1, one of them. I think they will win today. That's just me and how I feel about it. You know, I'm from the South. I do go for LSU. Michigan State, I don't know who they play against. I haven't been paying attention to them, even though that's my team. But I will say this, though. You know, that stuff with Mel Tucker going on and all that stuff there, I wish they would just go ahead on and just let that be, man. You know, if you owe him money, pay him. If you don't want to pay him, then don't pay him. You guys go ahead on and go through courts with this foolishness, man. But I'm here to tell you, Michigan State, I don't know who they're playing today. I will come back on and have my input on who I think they're playing when I watch who they play, and then just go with that. Find out what happened to Michigan State a little bit later when I come back on, because I'm going to come back on, I'm going to have a conversation about them. Even if they're playing at 11 or 2, I will have another conversation about it. That being said, let me go ahead on and say this right here. I am still hoping that Michigan State can have a bowl game. I don't know who's going to be their coach next season. I don't know who's going to be the coach. But I hope that whoever they get will be ready for the challenge. It's time for Michigan State to turn around. We've had two lackluster seasons. I am ready for them to turn around. And that's just me talking about Michigan State. Let me transfer to wrestling. I want to talk about the WWE SmackDown show from last night. It's going to be LA Knight and John Cena versus the Bloodline. That's a match they added last night. That's going to be a very great match. I think Cena and the Bloodline come out as the winners. The Bloodline come out as the losers. I think Cena and LA Knight will be the winners of that match. Also, a triple threat match now between Charlotte Io Sky and Asuka. I do believe that Io Sky will win that match. If Charlotte Flair wins that match, then she's not going to be champion for at least, she's not going to be champion long. Just best to believe that. And that's a match that's adding up to the pay-per-view of Fastlane, as well as the LWO versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, which was a match that everybody thought was going to happen. And so we're going to get to see it now. Rey Mysterio still the United States champion after beating Santos. And the look on Santos' face looks like he's going to either betray Rey Mysterio and the LWO and join with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I think that could possibly happen. You never know what happens in wrestling. Also, ladies and gentlemen, they're still thinking that Edge is going to be a part of AEW tomorrow night at their pay-per-view. A big shock for that. We know that NFL comes on tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We know that we got games there. Saints, against the Bucks. Will Derek Carr play? That's another thing. Will you see Baker Mayfield try to take him out the game again? Will you see what happens between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson? The Cowboys and the Patriots. That's going to be a game that I'm going to be looking at because I want to see what Ezekiel Elliott does against his former team. Those are the pits of the games for me that I'm wanting to see. Also, Buffalo and Miami. Can Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills cool down the Miami Dolphins and Tula? Because Tula is number one now in passing. They're scoring 70 points a game. Wow. Are they that? Will they do that against Buffalo? The answer is no. They're not going to put up 70 against Buffalo because Josh Allen is more talented than that. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to happen. But they're going to play like they want it. I think Buffalo wins. I don't want Miami to win nothing. But I think Buffalo will win, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the way I feel about that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about Major League Baseball, but, it's coming down to the last week of baseball. And the Cubs have been dropping the ball. And shout out to Kendall. I know that's his team, the Cubs. But the Cubs have lost 3 straight games. They had 2 games against the Braves where they could have won, and they lost again last night. The Cubs don't want it. And I'm hoping that Kendo can say a prayer for his team to try to get them into the wild card. That's all that happens. I'm not going to elaborate on Major League Baseball right now until it's almost time for the season to be up. But also I want to congratulate Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces for getting back to the WNBA Finals. Stewie and them are 1 game away from putting out Deanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas and the Connecticut Sun. The Sun are about to be rising suns because they're about to be going down suns if they don't win the next game. Because the Liberty are not playing. Stewie and the gang are not playing. Sabrina is not playing. She's playing with a purpose to get to the finals. And it could possibly happen if Bonner and Thomas don't do nothing about what's going to happen to them. They got to be ready in the next game. You have to be ready in the next game, folks. It's just that plain and simple. Got to be ready. Yes, ready to make this happen. And as I get off of here, I will say this to everybody out here. You're here for a purpose. You're always here for a purpose. Don't let nobody say that you're not here for a purpose, because you are. Keep God first. God bless you. God keep you. Ladies and gentlemen, before I close, I found out that Michigan State plays Iowa today. So, man, that looks like that's going to possibly be a loss. But I hope that Michigan State comes out and plays better, get the distractions out their mind about the coaches, and just go out there and beat Iowa in their building. Iowa's 3-1, Michigan State's 2-2. Somebody's going to end up either being 2-2 or 3-2. And I'm hoping that that's Michigan State, ladies and gentlemen. Go Spartans. Go Spartans. Go Spartans. I'm out. I'll talk to you guys later. I might come back on with another podcast about something, or I might just add to this podcast about something and then go from there. Peace out.